For a long time, Anacostia was segregated. In its early years, it was even illegal for African Americans to own land in parts of this community. And even after those barriers were torn down, others emerged. But despite these challenges, Anacostia continues to push forward.
What has preserved the blight and the inequities east of the river is the physical boundary of the river. The 11th Street Bridge Park seeks to create a walkable community that will remove the last vestiges of the stigma attached of going across the bridge.
When we're talking about a beautiful park spanning a beautiful river, we're talking about an amenity that people are going to want to be near.
But when we were thinking about the issues that face our community, we really wanted to make sure that the residents that were here were going to benefit from the 11th Street Bridge Park the most.
And so, one of the things that we've been focused on is trying to be thoughtful around the economic opportunity that we are providing. We want to make sure that we have a variety of different ways for them to be able to get jobs, to be able to start businesses, enliven and really enrich the lives that they have.
All of this is sort of walking distance to 11th Street. The residents in Hopkins and Potomac Gardens will be able to use the Bridge Park. We have all this data from all of these parks across the country, from other infrastructure projects that tells us there will be displacement without intentionally ensuring that there's equity and inclusivity in these types of projects.
We can go into the community, find out what resources are already there, and we can leverage that to prime the community for success.
One thing that stood out to us is only a third of people are homeowners on the Ward 8 side of the river. That means that when prices go up for housing, the potential for displacement is actually appreciably higher.
I have 7 children, and we was renting, and the place where we was renting from, it had a flood, and we had like 24 hours to move. And at that point, my 7 children and I became homeless. I work every day, paying rent, and that was like the worst thing I thought that could ever happen to someone like me.
So a lot of our early wins were around housing. We worked with MANA to create a Ward 8 Home Buyers Club.
We don't want you to be a spectator. We want you to be a participant in the process.
Here in Ward 8 for Ward 8 residents, and that we can move people into homes if they're ready for them.
Tell me, what is your vision?
Leaving my kids something behind, and to teaching them the responsibility of having something. So you talking about somebody come from low income from being homeless, coming through this awesome home buyers program that the mayor and everybody has set aside to give you a fair shot. For Christmas, I bought my kids a home, and I had made a promise to my kids. I said we would never be homeless again, and nobody was going to push us out.
Initially, we were thinking that this would be really focused on housing. When we looked at the data and saw the unemployment rates, listened to community residents that talked about the importance of jobs, it really made clear that an equitable development plan needed to touch on way more than just housing.
I was incarcerated for 8 years, so I had one door after another close on me.
What separates the approach that the 11th Street Bridge Park has taken is that it's not only important to invest in places, but it's also equally as important to invest in the people.
Skyland Workforce Center was a program nothing like I've ever seen before. Worked on computer skills, how to interview, how to present yourself, how to dress. And the opportunity came, and it's driving trucks. So I went, I interviewed, and they said, hey, we want to offer you a job, and I took it. I feel like the weight of the world was lifted off my shoulder, that I could be a husband, that I can be a dad. That just means the world. Someone believes in me. Someone put a little piece of stock in me. And that's my opportunity to show my wife that you didn't make a mistake.
The Bridge Park is community-led, community-driven, and it is thinking outside the box.
The plan was a living guiding tool that was a reflection of an underlying deep-seated motivation to see the park achieve positive social good in communities.
For us, it's about ensuring that there's power and to build ownership. I think that that's really going to be the long-lasting and most important part of the work that we're doing at the 11th Street Bridge Park.
We can minimize displacement and to extract that from the equation of development, because it doesn't have to be synonymous. Just because you move in does not mean I have to move out.